So this next team did a game, and games are deceptively hard, I think. Every little interaction has to be just right or it doesn't feel good, and we take most of those for granted when playing games. And then after you get all that done, you still have to come up with all of this content, which is usually an immense challenge. Unfortunately, this team has a lot of very technically strong and creative people, and so they were able to pull something together that's extremely beautiful. Let's take a look at Mono no Aware.
It's the 8th century CE in Heian, Japan, and your Empress is beset by ageless spirits born of human jealousy and malice. You must learn the name of the monster and how to defeat it before your beloved Empress breathes her last. Hi, I'm Jara Haynes, and my teammates are Evie Solomon and Lynn Celestine, and together we made a mystery and adventure game called Mono no Aware, in which you must traverse this ancient world, learning from and about the people within it in order to solve the mystery of who and what wishes your beloved harm. The background music was provided by our teammate, Evie Solomon. Our game utilizes branching dialogue that is dependent on the player character's personality attributes, which both affect and are affected by the choices made within the game. We used complex conversation trees and a proprietary dialogue parser to allow the user a greater degree of agency within the game world. To further the choices we were able to provide, we used a natural language processing library called NLP Compromise to allow you, and different selectable game states to allow you to choose your gender and the gender of your beloved, and to modify the game world accordingly. And now, I'm going to hand it over to Lynn, who's going to tell us a little bit about how we put this together.
Thanks, Jara. When we started building our project with Phaser 3, we found that the documentations weren't as fleshed out as previous versions. It was unclear and difficult to implement the features that we wanted. So we decided to do a spike test to measure how fast it would be to do it instead with HTML5, React, and Canvas, which we were familiar with, over Phaser 3. In the end, Phaser 3 won, and we found that once we overcame the learning curve, it was very easy to implement many features quickly. Collision detection, depth sorting, scene changing, cutscenes, and even dialogue. But for our store, however, we used our own JS code. We exported a module that exports a class instance and was able to carry all our information throughout the whole entire game. Now I'm gonna hand it over to Evie.
Thanks a lot, Lynn. So we used audiovisual effects to keep the user engaged and excited throughout the gameplay. Options from menus and dialogue exhibit smooth visual transitions and highly responsive sound effects. A green triangle, which you can see in a second, makes the user aware that they can interact with an item. Collecting an item contributes to their progress in completing the game's objective. There's a high-pitched sound that indicates that the user received an item. Like Pavlov's dog experiment, the sound creates a sense of excitement when it is heard again. The user can view collected items in their inventory. Thanks to Jara for providing the amazing artwork used throughout the game. As the user navigates empty space, there is a sound of wind to give the user feedback that their progress is eventful. The user collects the required items as hinted by their conversations, leading to an animated ending, which is the user's reward for their hard work. Thanks a lot. We're Mono no Aware.
Yeah, if you'd like to vote for Mono no Aware, then like the post, like that pinned comment. It was a beautiful game, very well done, and the artwork was. I couldn't hear a lot of music, but even the music seemed pretty.
Yeah, they compose the music themselves. The artwork, I think, is a mixture of things that they did themselves, and then some classical Japanese.
And what was the that dialogue tree?
That I don't know.
That was
It's
their game content?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a game content editor. I think they mentioned it.
Okay.
That they used.
Yeah, it was
Cool.
definitely very impressive sprites, and even the
Yeah.
animations are pretty cool. So,
Yeah.
Good.